Traders, are we in a risk-on or risk-off environment? And don't forget, Trump is talking today. Welcome to Simply Forex. If you want to improve as a trader, then you're definitely in the right place. Each week, I'm going to give you easy-to-follow trade ideas, tips, and advice so you too can succeed at trading. And if you stay till the end of the vid, I'm going to give you all of my trade ideas for today. If that sounds like a plan, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button. Right, guys, we should start here. I'm going to show you the news, right? So this is the economic calendar, right? We have a bit of news coming out earlier. These are all London GMT times. So we've got some employment figures, and we've also got some Japanese CPI, which is really important later on as well. But this man, the leader of the free world, President Trump is talking at 4 o'clock London GMT. So hold on to your hats. Anything can happen, right? And no joke, right? Anything can happen. So if you're in a trade, guys, and he comes out and says something about tariffs or another executive decision he's talking about or some war he wants to get involved in, right? This could have real ramifications for any trade you're in. This could affect all currency pairs. So just to be fully aware of that, guys, right? And we've seen that over the last couple of days, right? He's perhaps said something and the markets have shot off in one direction or the other. When he was inaugurated, the dollar got this crazy weakness come in. So, yeah, just tread a bit carefully when Trump's speaking later. And so that's the first thing I wanted to point out. And the second thing, guys, is, are we in a risk-on or risk-off environment? I know I keep talking about this because it's important that we understand it, right? So risk-on basically means we investors invest in riskier things like stocks, right? And then when it's a risk-off environment, traders will go to more safer investments like bonds or perhaps gold, right? Or even, yen pairs, yen strength. Now, we're going to start with the indices to try and make sense of this, okay? So if you look at this chart here, right, this was looking like a pretty much a risk-off environment, right? Looked like, traders of stocks were losing their appetite and price was, and this chart was in a downtrend, really, okay? Now, over the last week or so, you can see this real rally in the indices, right? Not just the NASDAQ, FTSE 100, DAX, you name it, they're all rallying. So this suggests we are in a risk-on environment. And this is playing havoc with yen pairs, right? And we'll take a quick look at those in a minute. So NASDAQ is my first trade idea, okay? We've broken out of these, this trend line that's coming down. We've even broken this last high. Okay, we're clearly in an uptrend and we just have bullish candles. And we have a bit more room to move into back up to these highs. I'm just aiming for this 22,000 psychological level. All right, so NASDAQ is a buy trade, which would suggest risk on. Right. If we look at the H4, we want to find an entry. So daily was telling me we can buy the NASDAQ. And then if we look at the NASDAQ, this is basically where we are on the H4. We're tracking the moving average 20 nicely. And all I want is a retrace into the moving average 20, right? It might retrace all the way down to this gray zone. If it does, we get a bullish reaction. I will start buying the NASDAQ. Or if it just catches up with the moving average 20, let's say the moving average 20 comes to here, I'd also consider buying here off a bullish candle. Okay, and it's the same for the Dow Jones. So the US30, if we look at the day chart, look at it, right? It is flying. Okay, we was in this downtrend, right? Again, very much risk off, right? We was even thinking, we're getting lower lows here. This could be breaking this level. And then we've just had such a rally on the indices. And obviously, again, Trump has an impact on that. He is very pro-business, right? Obviously, he's a businessman. And we've seen that reflected in the indices, right? So just look how bullish they are. Bullish, 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 right? So we want to buy the Dow Jones potentially back up to here. But up here, guys, I'm not going to start buying here, right? No value. Even if the market just goes straight up, I don't care. There's no value there. So if we drop down to the H4, let's try and find some value. And I would say the next area of value are these last highs here, right? You can see price, there was a bit of resistance here. So if price comes down, again, catches up with the moving average 20, somewhere in here, right, we get a bullish candle, we can start buying the Dow Jones as well. Now, as I said, if you're buying the indices, obviously very much a risk-on environment. And we can see this in any of the yen pairs. Let's look at pound yen, right? And this is, let's go to the day chart. So it's no surprise, guys. Remember, we just looked at the NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ was downtrending, right? It was downtrending, which meant risk off. Look what the yen was doing, right? The yen was getting strength because the yen is a risk off trade, right? Yen strength. And then we got down to these lows, and like the indices have rallied, so have yen pairs. Right, we're seeing a lot of, yen weakness and a lot of buying strength. Yeah, again, because of this risk-on environment. I have to keep checking I get risk-on and risk-off. I say it a lot. Make sure we get it correct, right? So yeah, this risk-on environment has led to yen weakness. Now, it doesn't mean I want to buy the yen, right? Because we're at levels that potentially we could come lower. So it'd be interesting, right? And another really interesting thing here, and this is no coincidence, right? When the NASDAQ, right, reaches these highs, or if it reaches these highs, right, we can expect some selling, right? There will be sellers sitting in there. And it's no coincidence, if we look at pound yen, right, as the indices reach those highs, we'll have the moving average 20 coming round. We may well get a reaction in here too with yen strength, right? If the indices hit those highs and we get a bearish candle, we will see that reflected in these yen pairs, right, at an important level. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds, right? So yeah, it's fascinating at the moment understanding these correlations between indices and yen pairs. Let's take a look at another yen pair. Let's have a look at euro yen. Right, and this is literally at those last highs, right? We're in a downtrend. That risk on environment has made yen weakness, but what will it do here, right? Or even at this trend line here, what will it do in here? It'll be interesting to see. And again, this will coincide when the indices are hitting highs, all right? But yen pairs are not trades for today, right? We're in a downtrend, but we have very bullish candles, right? That is just contradiction. My next trade idea, again, interestingly, well, it's interesting for me, it might not be for you, but I find all these correlations and interactions very interesting, and it's gold, right? But before we look at gold, guys, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. Also, leave us your thoughts, right, guys? We would like to know what you make of the markets at the moment. Are you seeing risk on, risk off? Are you liking yen pairs? What are you trading? So please leave a comment below this vid. Also, guys, please don't forget to join our free community. We have a free Discord channel. You can speak to like-minded traders, share knowledge, ideas, and have a general chit-chat. So come join our free Discord channel. Right, gold. Right, so gold as a commodity is a flight to safety commodity, like yen is, right? So gold thrives in a risk-off environment. Okay, so when the indices are dropping, gold is typically thriving. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing a break of this correlation. We are seeing indices pushing up and gold pushing up. So there is a break of correlation there. Normally they are inversely correlated. Gold should be doing this. But I put that down to a weak dollar. Remember, gold is pitched against the US dollar. We are seeing a weak dollar. So that has an impact on this gold strength as well. All right. But if we just look at the charts, right, it's a buy trade, right? We've broken this key level. We're in this uptrend. Right, nice uptrend. I like these uptrends when you get these dips. These are all good buying areas, but we're in an uptrend. We've broken this key resistance level here. All right, and there's room to take price back up to these highs. Okay, you know, and we've got bullish candles, right? Bullish. Again, I'm just looking for a bit of a retrace, right? If we drop down to the H4, you can see my alarm is pretty much at the moving average 20, right? So if price comes down towards this moving average 20, I might even push my alarm up a little bit. Somewhere in here, it might even come down to this grey zone. But in this vicinity, I will be looking for a bullish candle, and then we can start buying gold. All right, obviously, again, I want to point out we have Trump speaking today, so he could send the US dollar crazy. Let's see. But, you know, this technical setup makes sense to me. All right. So, yeah, that's another trade idea, guys. I'm also looking at some Canadian dollar pairs. Actually, let me show you this first, because I'm still looking at euro pound, right? And this is an against trend trade. And I'm looking to sell euro pound. So why am I looking to sell euro pound? Well, we're at an important weekly level. Okay, we're not very, but we're overextended up here. Here's the moving average 20, right? We're a little bit overextended. And then if we look at the day chart, you know, sellers are coming in. You can see price is being stopped at this level, at this weekly resistance level. Sellers keep coming into this market, right? There are sellers in here. And you can see that in the candles, right? This candle and these two candles, but this wick as well, right? But this is more of a doji. There's a bit of indecision there. But, you know, and again, if we look at the moving average 20, it's a little bit overextended. So this potentially has some room to the downside. So that's why we're looking to sell euro pound against trend. And when I say against trend, I mean daily trend. And if we look at the H4, this is also very encouraging, right? We've got this break on the H4. We've broken these lows. We've retraced to these highs, had a nice big rejection wick, you know, and, you know, we're going to try and trade price. I would probably aim for this next piece of support here. So around to this level here. So H4 is looking good. If we look at the H1 has been building up, right? So this is why I couldn't really enter this trade yesterday. Yeah, you can see we're getting this build up on the H1. And what I really want to see is kind of let's see a breakdown of structure, right? What I'd really like to see is a break of this support level, this grey zone in here. If we get that, we can start selling euro pound. And I wanted to show you euro pound first because I also like pound Canadian dollar sells and euro Canadian dollar sells, right? But if I like euro pound sells, then through the process of elimination and correlations between pairs, I prefer euro Canadian dollar sells. All right, I hope that made sense. Yeah, because if I like euro pound sells, that means pound is strong. And then if I'm looking at euro CAD sells and pound CAD sells, out of these two, right, euro Canadian sells make sense because I'm saying pound is stronger than euro, right? So let's take a look at EURCAD. And, you know, This is still in a downtrend. I know you're going to think, Tom, have you been, drinking something strong? But it is, right? This last high in here never breaks because of this humongous wick, right? It never breaks because of that. Now, I'm aware that this is a support and resistance level, which is why I have quite a conservative target, which is just back down to this 1.4900. Okay, if we drop down to the H4, you can see the H4, right, is in an uptrend and is stopped making higher highs, right? We're getting some selling pressure at these highs. Now, because my target's here, you can't trade a H4 structure break, right? There's the H4 low. You're like, right, it's broken structure. Oh, it's hit target, right? That's, there won't be a very good risk to reward in there. All right. But if you look at the H1, there is room. So you can see there's this level through here, right? And if I get a break of this level, right, bearish candle, we have a break of H1 structure, I will look to take price back down. All right, guys, and those are my trade ideas. Guys, please don't forget to join me for the live stream today, 7 a.m. New York EST time. Please visit our website. We've got loads of great promotions and offers for traders on there right now. So go check out our website, and I'll see you later for the live stream. See you later, guys.